That is the paragraph in the Bible I thought I would share with you this afternoon. As human beings, we all have situations that afflict us, sometimes painfully. Sometimes gives us ease, sometimes causes unease. Such a moment is like this one. As you are aware, I've not been in this house for a bit of time, and I come now at a time like this. I'm a human being, and one of the things that I still have is something we call emotional intelligence. The spirit of Ubuntu. I am because we are. You are because I am. And we share in that spirit. Your pain is my pain. My joy is yours. We share in this. This is the power of human connection that binds all of us. And if we apply them, we celebrate in our lives. We can't be like some people. I remember a general in South Korea. His wife was assassinated when he was standing at the podium speaking. She was shot as she stood by him. The bullet, of course, was meant to kill him, but somehow it did not kill him. It hit his wife. Park Chung-hee, who was the third president of South Korea, after his wife had been removed from the podium, continued with his speech. The wife died later. Was a strong man. But if your wife is shot right behind you and is being taken to hospital, a strong person, yes, would continue with the speech because the speech was that important. It was independence anniversary, and the president thought he was doing the right thing by continuing with his speech, but his wife died. In modern times, they would judge him and say he lacked emotional intelligence. He did not think, he did not portray to the country that at moment of grief like this, you could at least act human. From the moment I was asked to chair this house, there have been a lot of comments in social media, and I've read some of them. And the fundamental question they kept asking is, what is he going to do in this situation? And my answer is simple. I'll do what I've always done in situations like this. You'll recall that when the Honorable Ronald Chibule lost his twins, I sat in the chamber and adjourned Parliament to enable us all go and stand with him. That's how I did it. The situation is no different today, that the Madam Speaker has lost a dear one, and the burial is ongoing. I can only do what I have always done in situations like this. We will not be able to proceed with today's sitting in solidarity with the Speaker and the family that have lost a dear one. And those of you who can still make it to Kamuli, and those of us who can still make it to Kamuli, I think this would be a moment for all of us to go there and stand with the family. I will, at this moment, ask us, all of us, to stand for a moment of silence for this moment.
May the soul of the deceased rest in eternal peace.
Honorable members, I am doing this because even if it was the last chance, the last opportunity given to me to preside in the 10th Parliament, if this was the last opportunity, it's an opportunity I'm willing to let go, because it's not human for me to proceed with this business. But let me just make a comment on what is on the order paper, and then we see how to proceed from there. Item 4, statement by the Leader of the Opposition in response to the National Budget Framework Paper, financial year 2021-2022 to 2025-2026. This is permissible, but I think the circumstances under which it's being made is to participate in the broader budget process. Ordinarily, the statement should have been presented earlier so that it goes into the record at the time that the committees were handling debates and discussions on the budget framework paper. That should have been one of the documents referred to in the course of that discussion, so that when the budget committee finally reports to plenary, the views expressed in the response from the Leader of the Opposition would be captured. But be that as it may, the circumstances are difficult, because as we stand now, that time has passed, the Budget Committee has reported, and that report has already been forwarded to the President for considerations and other things that would guide the President in terms of what will come, what the view of Parliament is when he prepares to do the budget, to make the budgetary proposal, which would then be presented to Parliament by the 1st of April. But this is the situation, practical situation we are faced with. The whole of the views of the opposition has not been captured up to now on the record. That's why in item 4, we found it appropriate to allow the Leader of the Opposition to give this statement, which will not attract a debate, but which we hope will find time to be referred to while the President and the Cabinet considers what will come finally in the ministerial policy statements and also in the budgetary proposal that will be tabled to this House on the 1st of April. So that is the circumstance under which we will allow the Leader of the Opposition to proceed, although she will not be proceeding now, on another date that would be proper. The time frame should be the same like we give for responses to the ministerial policy statements. 15 days. From the date of receipt of the ministerial policy statement, we give the opposition 15 days to respond to those proposals that have come from the ministers, so that the committees, the sectoral committees can consider them in the course of their discussions. I think that time frame should also apply in the situation of this budget framework paper. So for the future, I think the Leader of the Opposition should be able to give this response 15 days after the statutory date given for laying off the budget framework paper, which is 31st of December of every year. But will allow this to happen. Secondly, my own view of bills that are contained in item 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, actually 12 and 13. Those 5 bills, in the days I used to be active in drafting, would have been contained in one single bill. And that single bill would have contained something we call miscellaneous amendments, in which case you would only have chapters making references to the specific bills that you are going to amend. Because now you are going to spend 5 times the time would have spent if it was one bill with the components of the different bills that are being proposed for amendment, or for different amendment bills that are being proposed now. It would have been smarter, in my opinion, to have one bill that deals with the whole situation. But be that as it may, this is how I intend to proceed, or I propose we could proceed when the time comes for us to proceed with these bills. We would receive the motion for each of the bills at its own time, would receive the speech from the minister from the Attorney General on each of the bills, and I would propose the question for debate on each of them, and I'll allow the sector committee, the Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee, to respond, to present the report of the committee in response to the motion for second reading of each of those bills. But then I'm proposing that I shelve all the debates until the end of the fifth bill, and then we handle the debate together for the 5 bills. So a member rising to speak would speak on any of the 5 bills, or all of them. And the time will be sufficient for us to deal with this, because we'll have saved enough time to do one debate rather than 5 different debates. When we finish with that, we will then come back to handling the bills again one by one. When we do committee stage, we'll handle them one by one. We finish them, we take decisions on each one of them, we will handle one by one. Even the motion for second reading of the bill would process one by one, not all of them at the same time. In which case then we'll go to committee stage, and of course third reading of the bill one by one. If we do this, I think we'll save a lot of time. Instead of doing 5 bills, giving it full attention 5 times, would have sufficient time to debate all these bills, because they relate to the same subjects of death and inheritance. That's what I would propose. And finally, I was thinking that in order for us to focus on the bills, I know some of the statements are very urgent. Some of them have to do with the bananas, things that have strange diseases that have come. But we could do the bills and finish with them. The excise duty amendment, it's one clause. The Red Cross bill, I think the only contentious issue is on where it should be housed, which ministry. I think it's mainly on the question of which ministry should house this. Should we give it to the office of the Prime Minister, which is all-encompassing, because Red Cross is essentially multi-sectoral. We might want to think about that. And then the final proposal that I would like to ask you, members of Parliament, if you could agree with me, because of the challenge we have had this afternoon, I was going to request that tomorrow we start early in the morning, if it is acceptable, so that we can make up for the time we have lost this afternoon when we stand from wherever we are, but in solidarity with the Speaker who is bereaved, and right now burial is going on. So if you agree, we could then come tomorrow at about 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, and then we do 2 hours to 1, we break for lunch, and then do another 3 hours in the afternoon. I'm sure by that time we would have reduced whatever business in an order paper by far. That's my communication. And at this moment, yes, Honorable Odu Erute, any matter on this communication?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I am holding brief for the Leader of the Opposition. Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to welcome you on behalf of the Leader of the Opposition. Welcome back in chairing this House. As the members of the opposition, we had also been wondering why you're not coming to the House, but welcome back. Mr. Speaker, I also want to say Happy New Year to you. We did not get the opportunity to say Happy New Year to you. And of course, I want to thank you for your very brilliant and wise guidance this afternoon. I want to continue to convey our condolences to the Right Honourable Speaker for the loss of her niece. Mr. Speaker, we missed 3 occasions to, first of all, congratulate you upon your your election as the member of the Central Executive Committee, the Vice Chairperson, NRM for Northern Uganda. I want to congratulate you on that win. We also missed the opportunity to congratulate you for winning the flag for Omoro County unopposed. And subsequently, we missed the opportunity to congratulate you for being re-elected as the MP for Omoro County. I wish now to congratulate you on behalf of the opposition who are here, and it's agreeable to us that we shall be here tomorrow by 10. On the guidance you gave us about the response by the leader of the opposition on the budget framework paper, we thank you very much for that guidance, and I think that as we come back to this Parliament, this would be the best way to proceed, and we commit that our responses will come in time so that our views are captured by the executive. Otherwise, I want to thank you very much for your very brilliant guidance to this House this afternoon, and I wish you all the best.
Honourable members, this matter is not subject to a debate. Can we pause here and restart tomorrow, 11 o'clock? Or leader of the opposition, can I have the member for Yumbe, then come to the government chief whip? Briefly, please, because there are members who would like to travel, whatever stage they find the ceremonies.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity you've given me. Right Honourable Speaker, first of all, I want to thank the Almighty God that you're here with us today. I also want to thank the angel, the God-sent angel, Honorable Margaret Babadiri, who raised a very important question yesterday about where you've been. We have missed you in this House for over a year. We were told you are going to be seen, and today we are seeing you. I want to thank the Almighty God for that. Right Honourable Speaker, we, the silent majority, have been praying for you, and we are still praying for you. I want to thank you for the guidance you've given this afternoon about the bills. It is true that these bills can be handled within a day or two, but the way they have appeared in the other paper, it could take us more than a week or even 2 to have them handled. Thank you so much for that wise guidance. Right Honourable Speaker, we are going to consult our angel, Honorable Babadiri, on how we can pray better to see that you, with such brilliant, wise guidance, continue to guide us in this House. Now allow me to take the opportunity to congratulate you upon your return to this House. I beg to rest my case. Thank you so much.
Honourable members, I advise that we keep to the subject. And the person speaking last would be the government chief whip. Otherwise, the meaning of this adjournment would not be seen.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I want to begin by apologizing for coming in late. Although I knew that you were the one going to chair, and your chairing the session means keeping time. But I informed you, sir, that today there is a special cabinet meeting at State House where ministers are considering the budget. But I asked for permission to come because both the leader of government business and his deputy are absent. Secondly, I want to thank the leader of opposition who congratulated you, and I think it is just proper that a voice comes from government side and from the NRM caucus to sincerely congratulate you and thanking you for delivering the NRM victory in that region. You headed it and you delivered, and we are indebted to you, sir. Thirdly, I heard you giving us guidance, and you proposed that tomorrow we begin in the morning. I hope that my colleagues in cabinet would have finished processing the budget so that I mobilize them all to come and begin in the morning at 11 so that we can cover a mileage of our business. I end by bringing congratulations from Chiboga District, and although I didn't make it, I know we shall be around to see you helping spearheading the legislation in this country. Thank you, and I want to thank you, sir.
Honourable members, let me also take this time to congratulate you. Those who have won, congratulations. Those who have not been successful, also congratulations. And I say congratulations for one thing. Somebody said, great honor is given to those who rise and rise again. But greater honor is given to those who fall and rise again. I am in that club. I lost the elections of 2006. That loss never stopped me from coming back. And I'm here 2 terms after I lost the elections. And you never know. So losing is not an end in itself. Sometimes when you make a phone call, you find there's a temporary interference in the network. So treat this as a temporary interference in the network. The network will open again and your call will go through. And I can only wish you the best in the forthcoming activities that you're going to engage in and opportunities you're going to have. And do your best and remain visible. You never know what the future holds. And the future comes for those who are prepared for it. And it will come for you if you remain prepared. Honourable members, in this circumstance and based on this communication, this House now stands adjourned to tomorrow, 11 o'clock.